I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. Just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much left.
Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's very rare that we do a morning interview here, but guys, for this interview, we had to make this one happen. Guys, you guys know we talk about independent wrestling on the show a lot. We talk about every independent company we can. And we're making a trip up to good old Massachusetts. And that's weird for a New Yorker for me to say because, you know, me being in New York and everything, you know, Boston, we get it. But, guys, TIW is one of the companies out there that I've definitely had my eye on for a while. Know a lot of the guys who are on that roster. But I wanted to talk to the commentator, one of the men behind the voices. And welcome to the show today for the first time, the one and only Shawn Pi Jacobs. Shawn, welcome to the show, my friend. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. Hello. It's about time I'm on this show, Blaine. What took you so long? Seriously, what took you so long? You've been doing this, a couple of years, and you finally came around? What's up?
Well, we're finally hitting our stride. I wanted you to come on when we were at our highest.
I'm glad to be on, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I was, and first of all, I do want to say you are the first guest we had that gave me a challenge to come up with good questions.
Well, I mean, I hate coming on podcasts or, not coming on podcasts, but I hate coming on podcasts and like talking about myself so much. So like you can come up with questions about stuff. That's great. I just, you know, I'm just trying to, see, I'm a white dude, but I'm a spicy mayo. So like, I love having fun, and I love I'm a free spirit. I just love having fun. So yeah, I challenge you to come up with some good questions, and we'll see if you come up with some good questions. We'll find out.
Absolutely. Well, first thing I want to get to before we get to the truly independent wrestling stuff is you have a little bit of a career in radio. Back in the early 2000s, you had a little bit of stint in radio, and actually my co-host, who's not here with us, Jeff, wanted me to let you know he was actually a big fan of yours back in the day on radio. So I just want to give him that little bit of a shout out before we go further because I didn't want to forget about that. But talking about radio, you know, what was that transition like going from radio to wrestling?
Well, it wasn't like directly to here. Let me, I have some stuff around my house. Let me just show you real quick. Here, when I first got in the radio, I worked for a company called 94 Rock. And then I got moved over to a station called 104.5, The New Edge. And so I used to broadcast at some of the fairs and whatnot. They made big vinyl signs for me, and I actually took them home because they're just going to throw them in the garbage. So I have these two big, giant-ass vinyl signs that they made for me from The Edge. And I have a shot glass around here somewhere. I think your coworker would really love that because I was a local celebrity around here in the Albany area because I worked on the radio and I worked with a very, I would say a spicy talk show host, J.R. Gash. Before I worked with him, he had already been canceled on Clear Channel for saying some derogatory things. So when he got a second chance, he saw me come along and he saw how hard I worked and wanted me to come work with him. So yeah, I worked on a couple different radio stations. And I had, like, that's why I'm not, I ain't worried about working locally here in Albany because I've already worked at home. I've already worked on the radio. I've already been like a local celebrity and whatnot. So I've already enjoyed that. My ego's already had enough with that. So I'm good with that. Now I went directly from the radio because radio is weird because if you're in Albany, if you're in the capital region, everybody has gone to a place called the New School of Radio and Television. And everybody usually goes in and then flunks out and nobody really does anything with it. But I just kept going with it. When radio died, I was offered a job to work at strip clubs. So I was like, why not? I can make a bunch of money, play the music I want to play, and be surrounded by beautiful women. So I did that for about 10 years. But unfortunately, that kind of lifestyle is a lifestyle, and it can take a lot from you. And it doesn't offer health insurance. It doesn't offer vacation pay. So I needed to find something like real. So I found a real job. But when I was in the clubs, I was drinking, and I was just losing my life because I was just wasting it away. I got sober in 2017, and 2 years after I got sober, there was an ad out for Truly Independent Wrestling, and I know the guy who put the ad out. I knew him from In Your Face Wrestling from 2015 because I worked with In Your Face Wrestling here locally for a year. I did their podcast, and I was a voice of their commercials on television too. So he put an ad out, and I had no confidence in myself when I answered the ad. I was like, there's no way I'll get the job, blah, blah, blah. And I got the job, and I was kind of good at it. And then I got another job and another job and another job. So that's kind of how, from radio to wrestling was 12 years in between. So, yeah.
Well, before I get to my next question, we do have a comment coming in here because, Shawn, that's one thing with us is we have the ability to take live comments, and good friend of ours, and obviously you know quite well, Billy's checking us out this morning, going, good morning, my friends. Pi is the man. I'm so lucky to learn from him. Let me actually ask you this, because I know she did ring announcement for the last TIW show. How do you think she did? Obviously, I know you did some ring announcement beforehand. How do you think she did for first time?
I thought she did excellent for her second time last night for New Order Wrestling out in Springfield, Massachusetts. She does this little thing I really like, and I told her last night, I'm like, I really like that thing you did. She's just starting, and I told her, like, I don't want to try to like just give her advice at a show because there's already enough stress at a show to try to give her advice. But she's just starting. I think she's in her real time, she's like an assistant teacher, so she deals with kids all day, right? So, there's not much of a difference dealing with the fans, and she's a natural with people. So, yeah, she's great. She'll come along just fine. So she just had her second show. So, like, yeah, she's doing great.
I completely agree. But before we get back into TIW, I want to kind of backtrack here for a second. Were you always a lifelong wrestling fan?
Yes. Wrestling was always on in my home. But Mr. T brought me to the dance, sort of speak. I saw Mr. T and Hulk Hogan on Saturday Night Live. I was like, who's that guy? And I was just like, and then I started watching, and I've had a lot of cool stuff happen in my life, like Ole Anderson, Four Horsemen. He moved to my village in Bruce, Wisconsin, and ran a sawmill for a couple of years. So I got to, when he got kicked out of the Four Horsemen, he came to my village. So the storyline with me continued, I guess. When I was 15, I was at the very first Nitro. I was front row at the very first Nitro at the Mall of America. I was very lucky. Like I wasn't like a rich kid or whatever. I had just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I got to see all of my heroes. So yeah, I've been a lifelong fan, and I love the pageantry of pro wrestling. I love the outfits, the colors, and the entertainment too. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a lifelong fan.
Oh, I completely get that. That's one. But it's interesting you say Mr. T, because obviously Mr. T was, came in being a celebrity, and we've seen now as of a couple nights ago, Jelly Roll is, becoming the newest celebrity. What do you think about these celebrities making the transition into pro wrestling?
I think it's natural. I think it's when, it's WWE, right? So they have to have some E in there, some entertainment. And, these people are, honestly, man, like a part of me hates it, right? Because I hate Instagram stuff. I hate, when I was on the radio and I had like local celebritydom and whatever, I was always having to like push myself and as a personality or whatever. And when I got done doing that, I was glad that I was done doing that because it's a weird life you have to sort of live, and you have to chase the clout and the likes and all that. And I didn't want to do all that. So, but no, I think it's natural for celebrities to get in, and you know, if they're good, they're good. If they're not, they're not. And I think any company that has a chance to make a buck off of a celebrity, they should.
No, I see what you're saying, and I've heard a lot of people who have said, you know, oh, it's not going to work, but let's see what happens. Honestly, I'm of the mentality, you know, we had to go through the Travis Scott debacle earlier this year, so.
Yeah, no, but Logan Paul, I mean, look at him. Like, we all didn't want him here. Nobody wanted him here. And like, he's sort of undeniable. Like, nobody likes him. He knows how to push those buttons, and that's all. You know what I mean? And he does have some good moments and good matches. So you can't. It's like undeniable. So you can't. I can't hate. I really can't. Like, I want to, but I can't. I can't.
But it's Jelly Roll. I mean, how can you hate Jelly Roll?
Exactly.
but now, you know, going back, you know, you mentioned before you were at the first Nitro. When you were at, you know, sitting in, you know, in that mall, did you think back then that you were, you know, watching the start of something big with WCW?
Not really. I mean, I just knew that all of my heroes were going to be there. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Bobby the Brain Heenan, like everybody was there. Lex Luger, and like everybody was there. So I just knew that it was going to be a cool show to go see. I figured I would be one of the standing on one of the like the second floor or the third floor, or the fourth floor, like watching it. But I was actually like right there. I chased. I followed Bobby the Brain Heenan to the back, and he gave me the slip. He's really good at giving people the slip, but he gave me the slip. And now I have both of his books. One of those books, I'm telling you right now, I swear by, and is my Bible, Chair Shots and Other Obstacles by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Winning Life's Wrestling Matches. Seriously, read the book. If you're in the business, you could reread it, because it's like you'll get something out of it every time. It's awesome. So yeah, I didn't know how big it was going to be, but I years later, you know, like now, and I sound like I'm ego by saying this, but I sort of feel like I was meant to be in this business, and I should have been here years ago, and I'm making up for lost time now. So.
No, I get that. I know one of the big stories that came out of that show, that first Nitro, was Lex Luger showing up, because nobody knew he was going to be there. Now, when he showed up, obviously, like I said before, he was not advertised. Last thing people knew, he was still under contract with WWE or WWF at the time. We heard the pop he got. Was that legit?
Oh, absolutely. Look, back then, like, fans were right for it. You know what I mean? Like, they were ready for it. I will say, when you when you watch that Nitro, when you watch that very first Nitro, everybody wearing Hulkamania shirts, nobody bought those shirts. All those shirts were like thrown out to the crowd, and I was so angry I didn't get in. I was so angry.
Yeah, you're talking about peak, not peak Hulkamania, but you know, that was peak Hulkamania in WCW.
That was the beginning of the second peak. You know what I mean? Like, and the beginning of the Monday Night Wars, and that was a really cool time, and I'm really fortunate to have been a part of that. Like I got to see Mongo McMichael and Bobby the Brain Heenan come out before the show, because they brought him out to kind of show him where the table was. This is where you guys would be sitting, and blah 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 blah. And everybody started like chanting "Weasel" at Bobby the Brain Heenan, and he actually looked like he was angry at it. And he started showing frustrated face, and then Mongo started to laugh at him, and Mongo's got his little dog, and yeah. So I got to watch them. Like, I was like pretty corner from the commentary table, so I got to watch them at the table, and I saw the little monitors, and yeah, it was dope. Yeah, the fans loved it. Like, if you watch that video, you'll see all four levels of people just standing watching that show. So yeah.
I'm surprised, in all honesty, I'm surprised no company has. I mean, yeah, I know you have independent companies that are running that building, but like WWE hasn't tried to do something in that building. But I think the problem is it would be way too small for them.
Yeah, it would be way too small. Mall of America is a giant mall, and I've been there a few times. I was there a few times before the Nitro happened. If you want to walk around that place without even like going into the stores, just walking around the place takes like 8 hours. So it's a full trip. You have like a lot of people like will fly in for a whole week. There's hotels there now. So you don't even have to leave the area. It's a whole self-contained like neighborhood now. It's wild.
It's insane. But I want to get into some TIW because obviously that's what people know you as now, as being a part of TIW. You know, looking obviously, I know you guys just had an event recently, a couple weeks ago.
Looking Battle of the Berkshires 4. Yep.
How did you think it? How did you think it went from commentator's perspective?
Oh no, it was awesome. No, look, TIW, the owner, CJ Scott, the Wolf, he is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in this business. Without CJ Scott, without the Wolf, having my back at that company, I wouldn't be working anywhere else. I love TIW. Like that's my home. That's my home base. I love to be a part of it, to help, to do whatever I can to help that company and to do color commentary. Cause I love doing commentary because I feel like that's what I should be doing. Cause I can just talk. But I love TIW. The show is great. We got a young kid named Landon Cross who grew up coming to the shows as a young kid and a teenager, and now he's an adult and he's a wrestler, and he's got all the support in the world. There's so many, like Brody Jackson from fucking Vermont. So I said the F word. Whenever I think of Brody, you know, the F word just pops up. Brody. But yeah, Brody, he comes down. He's awesome. You got Rustache. You got Danny Adam, Carnivora. Those guys are really, really cool because those guys bust their ass. Taylor One Shot, again, busts her ass. PJ Gonzalez, PJ the Whip, one of my best friends in the wrestling business here in Albany, like helping me get out. She's awesome too. So yeah, the last show is awesome. We've been doing these shows at the Bentley Brook Estate. It's the Wyndham Club, Wyndham something. Anyway, it's like really beautiful hotel. And then we set up and we do the show. And we've done it like 4 years in a row. And I've been there for every one of these shows. So I knew that I had to be back for this last one because when I stepped away, maybe we can talk about that a little bit. But when I stepped away, I knew I couldn't be away for very long. So I was like, I've been to every one of these Battle of the Berkshire shows. I'm not going to miss this next one. So yeah, TIW is great. I love almost everybody there, and the people who don't love me, I'm not going anywhere. All right, next question.
Let me ask you this now. You brought up that you had to walk away. If you don't mind bringing up for the listeners.
No, it's fine. No. Look, getting around. I'm getting booked at a lot of places, right? I'm finding myself kind of successful out here, and in order to be successful, you have to travel. And you got to have a car, or you have to have friends that'll help you get along. And I had this wonderful car. It was a Mazda 3 2012, great on gas. And I took this thing everywhere, man. I took it to Philly. I took it to Niagara Falls. I've taken it up to like the Canadian border, like a bunch of times up to Newport, Vermont and back. So like I drove this car to its death, really. So at the last Top Rope promotion show in February, I was driving back and my transmission blew and it was $2,500 fix. I didn't have $2,500, and then on top of that, I had a bunch of other bills come in, and I lost that car, unfortunately. And I've been struggling. I've been struggling to like make ends meet. So I just needed to get back to work, try to work as hard as I can, try to earn some money, so I can get back on the road and get back to my happy spot in the wrestling business. So I'm slowly getting back on the road. PJ has been helping me get back to TIW with transportation. I got to say that I really appreciate certain areas that wrestlers come from when they get together and they work together for a common like goal, because like rising tides raises all boats. You know what I mean? Like you got the guys out in Syracuse, you got Mike Skyros and those guys, and they're like a group of people, and they travel together and they help each other, right? And that's how people get to the next level, by helping each other, doing that. I see that out in the East Coast, or out in Massachusetts, and I see wrestlers doing this all the time. They get together and they, rising tide lifts all boats. You know what I mean? And I found living in Albany, it's a very lonely area. The groups out here aren't as cohesive as I would like them to be. I think they could be. We have some veterans here in the area that could be great leaders and positive role models. And I wish that were the case more often here in this area. And that's why I'm like considering a move to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, or Connecticut. I really love Springfield. I feel like Springfield has a vibe that I'm feeling. But if anybody has any leads on like a roommate situation or a room to rent situation out by Springfield, Fall Rivers, something like that, because all of those companies are sort of like located in Massachusetts and Connecticut, Rhode Island area, and I'm getting booked in a lot of those places. So I figured just go to where I'm getting booked instead of living out here where there's hardly anything going on. And a lot of the companies out here in New York are fine, but again, it's weird because like I work in the area, and a lot of the area guys that run companies, they don't want to hire me. It's the weirdest thing. Like, and sometimes you have to leave home to get booked. So, and I've had to work very hard to get where I'm at, and I'll have to keep working even harder to do that. So yeah, that's it's like if a wrestler gets an injury, right? Like he's going to be off the road for 30, 60, 90 days, and that sucks for him. You know what I mean? And that's the same way for me. Like I lost my car. It's like having an injury for me. So I just it's all about like positive mental attitude, and instead of sitting here thinking, oh, woe was me and life sucks and blah 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 blah, I just go, okay, well this has happened, we'll get through it. And thanks to my recovery of like 8 years that I've been working really really hard at, I'm still like booze free, and I'm taking on life as it comes. So
first of all, I just want there's a couple things I just want to bring up with what you just said. First of all, congratulations on all these years of being sober. That's a really good thing. And the other thing also, you mentioned more about they had to do a lot of traveling. I definitely get what you're saying with that, because living out here on Long Island, most of the companies that we work with for the show are not on Long Island. Most of the companies that we work with are New Jersey, Albany, Connecticut. Now we're working with. We had a company we were working with in Massachusetts, Maine, Philly, Chicago. So I totally get what you're coming from as far as traveling the road, because there are times where I would go to, let's say, Dynasty, for example, or one of the companies up in Albany, leave my house 7 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't booked for the show. I was just coming as a fan. And I would end up literally being on the road. I mean, there was one time I remember I was coming from Long Island to upstate New York 3 times a month between Dynasty, Immortal, and UWA.
Were you taking the megabus?
I was.
No, you weren't saving yourself money. You could have paid $15 to get round trip.
No, I was doing the drive, and I had a 2020 Hyundai Kona at the time, and in 1 year and almost 2 years, I put on over 100,000 miles on that car.
I bet you did. I bet. So you're in Long Island?
Yeah.
You're down in the city. Look at you. I love the city. I love Coney Island. I'm a huge like my aunt had my aunt Tina just celebrated her birthday, and she had this movie called The Warriors on VHS. And one day I popped it in when I was like 9 or 10. And I was like, oh, I love this movie. So when I finally, as an adult, I came out here, I was like, I'm going to Coney Island, brother. You know what I mean? Warriors come out and play. Let's do this. So every year now I go to Coney like 2 or 3 times a year. It's a great time. I love Coney. I love the city. Um, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm from Wisconsin originally. So I was actually kind of scared of the city for a while. But once I learned it wasn't that big of a deal, and the city has become far more gentrified and far more safe than anybody could even imagine. Like I can go down to Manhattan or to Times Square at like 3 a.m. without an issue for the most part. But that's cool. That's I thought you were like up here, but that's awesome. Long Island. All right.
Yep, believe me, a lot of people think I'm up in Albany because I'm up in Albany so much because of Dynasty and everything. I'm like, nope. And people laugh. Prime example, when UWE was still running, when they were doing their episodes a couple months ago, I had the farthest commute of any of them. And with that one, I would have to leave my house 8 o'clock in the morning, get up there by 2, basically do the tape in. I don't think I'd be back home till some like time 2 o'clock in the morning. So I know what it's like. I always made the joke for the last couple of years. I travel the road like I'm a wrestler, but I don't get paid like I'm a wrestler.
Maybe you do. Maybe you do. No, I here's the thing. I was just talking to PJ last night. One of the greatest things about working in this business is traveling. You get to see all these states. You get to see all, and if you take the time, if you can just take a little bit of like maybe an extra hour or two, if you have a short trip or something like that, look around the town, look around the city, go to their Goodwills, and like I went to Fall River, and I was like, no, I was in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I was like, I need an outfit, so I went to the Goodwill, and I found myself an outfit for like $20. I found like these pants, the shirt, and these Converse shoes. I was like, yo, there's my outfit for the day. And I like going to the cities and checking out, checking out the towns and whatnot. I would say the most beautiful place that I get to go to is North Adams, Massachusetts for TIW. That place is freaking gorgeous. And so is Newport, Vermont. Newport, Vermont is really, 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 really gorgeous. But North Adams, Massachusetts is just breathtaking. It's so gorgeous out here. It really, like, I'm from Wisconsin, so it's majorly flat. But coming out here, it's gorgeous out here. We got Adirondacks, we got the Berkshires, we got the Northern Kingdom in Vermont. So we got so much beauty out here. And like Route 91 going to Vermont is awesome. I'm actually writing a song about Route 91. Route 93 is really dope going to New Hampshire. That's a really cool time. Traveling to Niagara Falls was really dope. Going out to Cleveland, I got to go out to Cleveland for a show. I got booked for a show out in Cleveland. That was really, really cool too. So yeah, the travel, I wouldn't have gone any of these places if it wasn't for wrestling. And I'm getting to go almost everywhere now because of wrestling. So yeah, I love travel.
Oh yeah, I also get a kick out of it, especially like if I'm going to Philly, for example, or like Jersey, because 9 times, especially Jersey, I always have to make that stop at Wawa. And I don't care if I have to go 5 minutes out of my way. I'm not, because it's like a weird thing though, because like, living out here in Long Island, you don't have a lot. You don't have stuff like Wawa and Stewart Shop that, like up in Albany. And
Storts is the greatest.
And it's like stuff like that I sit there, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make I always put it this way. Like if I go to like a show, for example, the routine I always have is I usually stop and get gas, running, get something to drink quickly, something to eat, and then I hit the road. And I'm not one of these guys where it's like, oh, it has to be a fancy gas station. No, it could be some sketchy looking gas station. And we know how many of those exist in Albany. I've seen quite a few of them already.
Yeah, that's the only pain in the ass now about the travel is that after COVID, everything is closed after like 10 o'clock. So you don't really get a chance to enjoy the food of the area so much. So that's the only bummer, man. Uh, like all you got on the way home is the rest stops, and everything is so freaking expensive. So when I usually drive out, um, I make myself a lunch. I don't give a crap. I make myself like an egg boy. I call them egg boys, but I make myself little homemade McGriddles, and then I
Oh,
bring those along. Yeah. It's awesome. I have two eggs because they sell like these little mini pancakes at the store. So a couple mini pancakes, a couple eggs, put them in the microwave, and boom, McGriddle. You know what I mean? So and like a fraction of the price. So
never even thought of that. But I know we're kind of jumping around here for a second, but I want to get back to TAW for a second because I know you've had different people doing commentary with you. You've had guys like Johnny Patches. I know Fox has done some. Let me
yeah, Fox has done some.
let
I
me ask
can't
you.
wait. I can't wait for the next episode, the Battle of the Berkshires 4 to hit the YouTube because Fox and I had a lot of fun together.
Well, you said before you like talking, and we all know Fox loves to talk. How did that play? How did that play out with you two loving to talk so much?
He loves to talk, but nobody can understand him. Like when I talk, you can understand me. Um, you think Fox talks a lot? Because he doesn't talk a lot to me. He's very quiet. He's uh, Fox Vineyard, man. What can I say about Fox Vineyard other than he's Fox Vineyard? I wish Fox Vineyard would stop being such a grumpy Gregory. Nobody likes grumpy Gregories. You know, I think like I wish he would smile more often and just like he could. I want to look up to him. I really do, but like there's just something that like I can't quite get there with him. Um, but I love everything about him, and I don't. It's a weird thing, right? Like I don't dislike anybody in this business. I really don't. I don't have enough energy to dislike anybody, but I want to like Fox Vineyard a lot more than I do. And I don't know how to like him more, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, he's cool. I can get along with him. I can get along with anybody. But yeah, here's the thing, Blaine. I worked on the radio for a while and then strip clubs for 10 years. And you don't understand working the strip clubs that you're roasting people every single night. And I roasted people every single night for 10 years. So when wrestlers come at me with stuff, I have to bite my tongue because wrestlers don't understand. I will make you cry. I will. I will make you cry because there's nothing you can say to me that hasn't already been said to me or I haven't already said to myself. So come at me. Give me whatever you want because you can't touch me. But if you give me a moment, I will make you cry, and I don't want to make anybody cry. So, yeah, I will give people a lot of grace because I don't want no tension. I'm good, you know what I mean. But at the same time, there's a lot of wrestlers who just haven't been stuffed into lockers and haven't had swirlied enough. Okay, that's it. That's it. A bunch of drama school kids who haven't been swirlied enough. That's it. Next question. I knew I was going to get heat. I knew I was going to get heat for this. I don't care. I don't care. You know why? You know why? Because all the bosses love me. Like the promoters like me. I'm a good person. I work hard for my opportunities. Like there's a lot of announcers who don't have to lift a finger. They don't have to lift a chair. They don't have to do anything because we don't really have to do that. But when we do that because I do that because I want to work for the opportunity. I don't want to just come in and just thank for the job. I want to come in and be like, here, I'll pick up the chairs. I'll help you bust down the ring. I'll help you bust up the ring. So I work really hard for every company that I come into. And when I had to walk away from 5 wrestling jobs. That sucked. But the greatest thing about all of that is that when I walked away, every single one of those promoters told me that I would be welcome back. Every single one. And that was more touching to me than anything. So yeah, I'm really happy to be back. I'm happy to have people who believe in me, and those who believe in me, thank you. Thank you so much for believing in me. I would do my best to never disappoint any of you. Next question, Blaine.
Now, looking at the guys and girls who are in TIW, obviously, we're at the halfway point of 2025. Who do you think is going to have a breakout second half of 2025 on the TIW roster?
Man, I think Landon Cross is gonna pop off here pretty soon, get himself a title. He's been working really, really, really hard. So I would be on the lookout for Landon Cross to be doing some big stuff. And you never know who might be coming through to TIW because there's been more shows added. So yeah, you never know who might decide that they want it more than anybody else. So I would say right now, Landon Cross is the one to watch. Like, he's a young kid, up and comer. Rustache is another one, and of course Brody Jackson. Brody, you never know where Brody Jackson's coming from. So, right, Brody. I love picking on Brody. He can't do nothing about it. You got to watch this and get picked on. All right, next question, Blaine.
But obviously, another name who's been through the rankings of TIW is Black Rose.
Yes. I'm sorry, but oh my God, I forgot. Oh man, you're right. I'm just like, I worked last night. I'm a little tired. I'm sorry, Black Rose. Seriously. Oh my God, he's my favorite. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about him. Oh, I feel so bad now. Oh my God, yeah, Black Rose. From the moment I saw that dude wrestle, I was like, this is the guy. Like, and he's not the biggest guy, but he's a dangerous dude. And seeing him finally get his flowers is really awesome. He deserves all of the accolades that he's getting. He deserves it. Like, truly deserves it. Like, I'm his biggest fan, and I'm sorry, I can't believe I that name completely escaped me until now, man. Sorry, Black Rose. You can hate me if you want. Sorry. I feel awful. Yeah, no, he's great. I love him. I think him becoming Dynasty champion is perfect because he exemplifies what being a wrestler is all about, and he has no ego. Like, he's backstage, he's super cool, easy to work with. But when you get in that ring, yeah, you better run because like he's dangerous.
Yeah, I've seen it with him now quite a few times that he may not be the one to put on the 5-star match, but damn well you're going to get the athleticism out of him. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's fantastic. I can't get enough of that dude, and I'm just so happy that he's finally finding the success that he deserves.
Absolutely. Before we go, obviously, I want to get a little bit into New World, New Order Wrestling as well before we wrap things up here. What events is TIW have coming up, and how can fans get tickets for it?
There is the Heat coming up. Something. I just woke up. I had to walk to the store and I get some coffee creamer and some peanut butter for this week. So like I know the next show is coming up in 3 weeks for TIW. Check the social media page for TIW. I wish I could tell you. You want to look it up, Blaine? Maybe help me out with this because I'm like, sorry. I know. Okay, I know what the next NOW show is because we were just talking about it last night. October 11th, New Order Wrestling returns to Springfield, Massachusetts. Make sure to check out the social media pages, follow those. That way you can get all the information on the show. Beat the Heat, I believe, is August something. 2nd. What?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. Thank you, John Blaine. John Blaine's on top of it. Thank you, John Blaine. Yeah. August 2nd, Beat the Heat. at least I knew the name of the show. Yeah, no, I love TIW, and I really, that's my home base, man. It's great.
I absolutely. And
Oh,
TIW,
hey! I want to tell everybody I'm also a musician. See those guitars back there? I play music. I have a band. It's not a band. I have a project, and I call it Swede Hawk. You can find Swede Hawk on all of your streaming devices. And I'm making music because I don't drink no more. And I got all this energy, and I love music. I've loved music my whole entire life. Music is universal, and it moves me, and it moves you. And so I'm making a bunch of different music, a bunch of different genres. I'm making some rock, some punk, some pop, the electric digital pop. Then I'm working on some digital hip hop and some R&B, and I put out a country song. So look for Swede Hawk. You might like one of the things I put out. I don't know. I'm having fun. It's like doing art. That's my art pieces. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but okay, let me ask you this now. You bring up the music side. Who inspired? Who was your inspiration to become a musician?
Kiss, the hottest band in the world. Kiss. My friend. I grew up with my best friend Jake, who died in 1997. So that's why I took the last name Jacobs in honor of him, because he's the one who gave me the Pi nickname. That's why people call me Pi, because that's my nickname. Because when I first got in the business, I didn't want people calling me Pi because I didn't want to put an ego out there. I just wanted to put my work and work hard. That's why I was just Shawn Jacobs, and that way I could honor him that way. But yeah, Kiss. Jake rented Kiss Exposed on VHS, and he brought it over, and I wasn't like really interested. I was like, I don't know what this is. And then he put it on, and I'm 9 years old when I see this thing, and I see the makeup, and I see the blood spitting, and I see the smoking guitar, and I see all this stuff. I'm 9 years old. I'm like, what the is this? And then in 1990, May 27th, 1990, I'm reborn into what I am today, because I see Kiss live 1990 on the Hot in the Shade tour, and Kiss came out of the mouth of the Sphinx. Like there was a giant Sphinx head, like in the pyramids of Giza over there, a giant Sphinx, and the mouth opens up, and these laser lights shoot out into the crowd like that, like green laser lights, and then Kiss walks out, and they walk out of the mouth, and then they come out and they start fucking rocking that joint, and the Sphinx eyes are fucking, they got spotlights for the eyes, so they're fucking, it's following the crowd. And I'm fucking 11 years, oh my God, the F word. I'm 11 years old, and my mind is being blown in the back of the Deck Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. So that was like, that inspired me to get into the music business, the entertainment business, because I was like, I loved the big production of it, like just the overall, the whole, you know what I mean? So that's why I love like pro wrestling, because it's an event. There's music, there's lights, there's, you know what I mean? So it's very similar. And I like music a lot, but when I worked in radio, I found out like how the hits were made. And when you find out how the donuts are made there, you just don't want to eat the donuts anymore. But like, yeah, so music is universal. I love music. And yeah, next question.
All right, I would put it in the spot right now. Mount Rushmore Kiss songs.
All right, see, that's personal for me, because like Black Diamond, number one. Black Diamond, I love when I play guitar, when I'm warming up. I'd like to practice the beginning of Black Diamond. So I think it's like a little sweet little thing. Man, maybe I Stole Your Love. Cold Gin for sure. After that, man, I mean, you have to sort of pick like, what's your favorite 70s Kiss song? What's your favorite 80s Kiss song? Because there's different genres that they did too. So like, I love the Dynasty album. I thought that was one of the greatest albums of all time, and I still like put that on and just thump it. So Yeah, Kiss was great, man, and like I saw them twice. I saw them at the farewell tour here at the SPAC here in Shows on the Springs. So I got to see all original four members, and that was good enough for me. I haven't seen Kiss since. I did. I cried. I did my thing, and I got over it. So yeah, and I'm not as much of a mark for Kiss as I used to be because when you grow up and you learn that like your heroes are just kind of jerks. Except for Paul Stanley. Paul Stanley is the only one who I like from that band because he seems like the only one who was real in his autobiography because he actually showed some vulnerability in that book, and unlike anybody else, they didn't. So yeah, I love Paul Stanley. He's great.
I actually was lucky enough to see Kiss back in '08 when they were on the Sonic Boom tour, and the biggest story I remember with that was opening for them was Buck Cherry, and Buck Cherry got booed off the stage after 45 minutes.
I saw Josh Todd perform, the lead singer from Buck Cherry. I saw him perform in Clifton Park with his solo band during a blizzard, and he rocked the fuck out for 15 people. Like for real, he rocked the fuck out for 15 people. It was really awesome. He gave us a whole show, and it was a blizzard. I love Josh Todd from Buck Cherry just for that because like he could have had an attitude, he could have had a stink face, but he was like, you know what? Let's just do this. So yeah, I love Buck Cherry. That's good stuff.
But like I said, I'll never forget that one when they literally got booed off the stage after 45 minutes, and basically because you got to remember you're dealing with the Long Island crowd, and nobody was there to see Buck Cherry.
Yeah, you New York City is a tough. You can't go down to New York City and be crap, or you can't. If somebody's coming to see a band and they don't want to see you, they don't really want to see you. I've seen I went and saw Coheed and Cambria a bunch of times down in the city. The best one I saw was right down in Coney there, the place they had there, the auditorium. That was a really great show, just because of it was raining and it was summertime. It had a great vibe to it. Yeah.
Last question I got for you. Obviously, last night, New Order Wrestling happened, and we all know John Cena Sr. was there. I didn't want to say that 5 times fast because I would have stumbled over my own words. Saw the picture you posted earlier today, you meeting him last night. What was that experience like for you to meet him? I know he's not a big name in wrestling, but it's still the father of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Okay, this is a good question. I had a very rough childhood. I didn't have any men looking out for me. I didn't have a father figure. I didn't have anybody. And the men who were in my life were shitty to me. So it's been very tough for me to just be on my own and to try to learn how to be a man, right? And I looked up to people who had the love of their family, like Eric Price, who was an announcer for NYCW out in Rome. Great father. He ended up getting cancer and he died. Very sad. But he would come to the shows, and his wife and his children were there, and they would give him this look of love that I've never seen from kids to fathers and all that kind of stuff. Same thing with Mullet Man up in Vermont. Like his daughter and his woman love him so much they look at him with this love that I wish that I had in my life, right? So I see John Cena Sr. and he had 5 boys, all successful men, all in their own right. One is a cop, one does voiceover work. I forget what the other 2 do, and then of course we all know what John Cena does. But I told him, I said I want him to write a book, or I want him I want a book to be done or some research to be done about what it takes to raise a boy and what, because it clearly shows what a present father can do for somebody in their life. Because John Cena Jr., right, probably wouldn't be as far in his life without his father, without people who had his back growing up and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of people that might be able to learn some lessons from John Cena Sr. And I told him, I said, you should write a book about like fatherhood and then have all 5 of your sons add something to it. Like, what was like ask all 5 of the sons, like what was the most important part, or what do you think was most important thing that your father did for you, like, or your parents did for you? Because I would like how to be a better parent, or I think there's a lot of there's a lot of guys out here who just don't know how to do it right because they weren't taught how to do it right. And I think that more good fathers need to be recognized, and we need to look at how we can be better men and better fathers, because I don't know, man. That's where I go deep on the whole thing. That's why I'm also a huge fan of Buff Inc. out in Massachusetts. 2 buff dad, a father and son team, and I see them travel around, and I see them like pal around and their friends, and like I wish that I had that. I wish that I had a father who had my back. I wish I had somebody who had my back like that. And now, like, I have that with the promoters, you know what I mean? Like, they have my back, like Wolf over at TIW, he's got my back, and Dave over at NOW has my back. The people at Top Rope Promotions and ETWA, and like, so I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to find a better way, a positive way to be a man in this society, and I'm really finding. I know you asked me about John Cena Sr., but we're talking about me now, because this is all about me anyway. But no, I think men need more hugs, and I think that we all need a little more love for each other. And I feel that I used to, this is messed up. I used to fantasize about having a group of guys that I could hang out with. Guys that would be like, oh my God, there's Pi, come out and hang out with us, Pi. For years, I would like, oh, that would be kind of cool. Because you see that on television all the time, right? Like the guy, buddy, hey, buddy, I never had that. Like I lost my buddy. So I finally found my people. Like Mullet and Jobs up in Vermont Jobs have been calling me like every single night. Like we've been talking like consistently. And I think that we, as men, we just need to rely on each other a little bit more and listen to each other a little bit more, and just be there for each other a little bit more. And I love the male bonding that I get from pro wrestling, because it's something that I've sorely needed for 40 plus years of my life. And it's very emotional for me. I don't want to ever leave a show. I don't want to ever leave the people, because it feels too good. So yeah, that's why I love coming back. It's a place where I feel at home.
I completely get where you're coming from with that, because I'm in a very similar boat that I had. I'll put it this way. Growing up for me socially, I was the kid who would always be by himself in the corner, all that stuff. And it wasn't until not even just pro wrestling, more of independent wrestling. And it wasn't until I really started doing the traveling down to Jersey and up to Albany, and I started meeting a lot of the fans, and I was like, you know what? This is kind of my social life, and this is kind of my thing. And when the two worlds combined, where I got to go to all these shows and doing this show weekly. I mean, we've been doing the show live weekly for the last 4 years. 4 years as of this November.
Awesome.
So I look at it. I look at pro wrestling as almost like an escape, almost, if that makes sense.
It's a healthy escape. It's not hurting anybody. You get to support other people, and like I really love this business because like there have been some really special people who have popped out for me, like Jobs and Mullet, Brody Jackson. I love picking on him, but like we're friends. Adam Brunton from ECWA, another great guy. Caden LeDuc, a new kid on the scene, just a great guy. Jeremy Lacroix, another just I love that kid. Um, yeah, man, I sort of live vicariously through the young kids coming through now, and that are just really like putting the work in, like I've been putting the work in, because I feel like we're all together in that way because we're all busting our ass, all trying to like raise each other up. So
I get what you're saying, and it's nice. It's great to hear that because you hear so many times where, especially in pro wrestling, where it's, well, I work for this company, I don't want to work for this company, or I work for that company, I don't want to work for this company, and I commend you a lot for that. It was blessed having you on today, and I hope the door is always open for you to come back on.
awesome, man. Well, yeah, you should once every 4 months have me on, man, because I'm entertaining as heck. Trust me, I could let's raise the tides, brother.
Before we let you go, where can fans connect with you on social media?
Shawn Pi Jacobs everywhere. I made it real easy, and all you wrestlers and all you entertainers out there should make it real easy and have the same name everywhere. That way, if you pop on, so yeah, Shawn Pi Jacobs on YouTube, on Facebook, on Insta, on damn near everything except for Twitter. I don't do that. But yeah, my Google reviews are pretty good. On Google, yeah. But yeah, you can check me out there. I'm about to post a bunch of photos from last night because I was so tired when I got home. I just passed right the heck out. So I'll be posting some photos from last night's NOW show, and be on the lookout for more music. And yeah, I'm extra. I've always been extra, and from now on, I'm not going to apologize for it. This is how I am. I'm not going anywhere, and if you don't like me, you're going to just have to deal with it, son. Deal with it.
Believe me, I get what you're saying, guys. Go check out New Order Wrestling. Go check out Truly Independent Wrestling. You'll get to hear Shawn on.
Wait, hold on. Check out Top Rope Promotions. Check out ETWA. Check out my friend Adam Lash, his company, Green Mountain Wrestling. Look, I have to promote my friends because my friends are freaking awesome. Outcast Wrestling, the Outcast Wrestling something. I forget. I'm blanking. I'm sorry. The son and the father and son, they work there. Yeah. So I love all you guys. And thank you all you promoters for believing me and yeah, no, I promise I'll do my best to never disappoint any of you and to just bust my ass and keep it real with all you, man.
I couldn't say it better. Guys, this has been my episode with Shawn Jacobs. We have coming up this week, we got Mike Skyros coming up, Kristen DeVille coming up.
Oh, yes, Mike Skyros. See, yes, tell him I love Mike Skyros. And see, that's if you're going to look at a leader in this business here in the Northeast, Mike Skyros. That's the man. I'm telling you right now. He's doing it right.
I totally agree. Guys, also, we got Mike King coming up this week, Michael Turner coming up this week from Main Event Wrestling, and so much more. You will see myself and Jeff back here this coming Tuesday. We'll have all your wrestling talk as we always. Guys, again, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Catch this interview or any past interviews we've done on Apple, on Spotify, you name it, wherever you get your podcasts. Go search Around the Ropes with John and Jeff. That's where you can get us. For Shawn, I'm John. This has been Around the Ropes. Catch you guys next time.